Good morning, people. How is everybody this lovely Friday evening? My name is Crystal, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 6:11 p.m.
I'm just going to have a snack of some Dolly mixtures. Tesco's Dolly mixtures. I've also got some jelly tots, some retro sweets, just as a snack. Right guys, so let's tell you what's been happening. Not a lot to be fair, but let's tell you anyway. So, I have been in most of the day, apart from obviously taking my Chihuahua for a walk in the morning and the afternoon. My mum's kept in contact. She's called me in the morning, she called me this afternoon, so my mum's okay. The postwoman came about 1:15, 1:30, and I've ordered some packages from eBay. So obviously I go and have a look. It's a bit too early because I ordered them yesterday, so I wasn't expecting them today. Right. So I went downstairs, my box was completely empty. Nothing on the floor. The eBay guy had been in his red car, left nothing. There was nothing in this block of flats at all. So 1:45, the lady with the dash hound leaves her flat and it barks. It's a really screechy, loud noise. So she took the dog out for a walk. At the time, near the time I do each day. So she took the dash hound out. I'd had several annoyances, but I didn't get upset. I'd had 2 messages of Flirt Finder, which I'm not interested in now. Don't tell me you're 54, and then when I say you don't look 54, you then tell me you're 47, because that's lying. I don't want liars. So I completely ignored the Flirt Finder messages that came to me, Crystal, this morning. I'd also spoken to my son this morning on WhatsApp. I had these Flirt Finder messages afterwards. Completely ignored them. They wanted to go on WhatsApp and I didn't. Because I've had bad experiences, and if you don't want bad experiences, then you just like, no, I'm not putting up with that anymore. If you don't meet me face to face for a coffee, I don't want to know you. End of. So at 2 p.m, right, because I'm not going to be stopped taking my dog for a walk. 2 p.m, it's a normal time I take Max out for a walk. I took Max out. And I know next door was out with her dog, but she wasn't coming home, so I could get out without that dog barking at me, so I did. So I walked out of the front of the building, and I walked around the back of the flats, and I walked onto the fields. And there my neighbour was, with her grandchildren, walking down the path, and I just walked across, and the dog started making an awful noise, yapping, barking, and I ignored it, walked on, and then I started walking up the path where the builder's entrance is. That sounds funny. The builder's entrance at the side of the over 55s building, their building. And then this guy, old gentleman of about 70, quite tall, in a pair of like white trousers, because I've got a cream pair of trousers, and I put some photos on Facebook. I don't think they were actually on TikTok. I think those photos were on Facebook. And a tall grey-haired guy with what looked like a pair of my trousers on, bent over with his bum right in front of near my face. It's huge posterior bent over. I've not been filming for 2 days. I've not been going outside filming because it's ridiculous. I don't want someone's big bottom blocking out my camera. So I presume he was picking up dog poo. So I walked around him, completely ignored his posterior in my face, walked past another guy on a bench, and then I just walked around the field with Max listening to Ed Sheeran songs. And by the way, I've listened to Ed Sheeran's new music on YouTube because it flashes up new, because I've got a YouTube channel, right? So I was listening to the song Plastic Bag, and what I like about songs is the lyrics. So I've been going through every one of Ed Sheeran's lyrics because the lyrics actually come up. And there's one about a birthday where nobody cares. Nobody cares about somebody's birthday. And the words "nobody cares" comes up. And that has appeared in my diary when I've said, several people have told me when I've moaned in that nobody cares. So when I listen to a song, I like to see the lyrics. So I've gone through all of Ed Sheeran's new songs and the lyrics, and some of it's quite dark, and Ed Sheeran is a young guy. He's a lot younger than me. I'm 55, and he's talking about death, dying, and nobody cares, and things like that. So I suppose, I don't know, maybe he's writing it from a perspective of what he's gone through in his life. I understand that, like when you've lost a friend to drugs. But Ed Sheeran is a relatively young man, so quite dark lyrics, but again, lovely music, lovely guitar. Ed Sheeran's got a wonderful voice, but whenever I listen to music, I do go through the lyrics. And I'm sure other people do as well, because sometimes you want singers and songs to relate to you, and I expect that relates to a lot of people, Ed Sheeran's lyrics, not just himself. Very clever music artist, and he's got millions and millions of views. Very lovely music. I'm subscribed to his channel, and I'm subscribed to a lot of people's channels as well. So I listened to Ed Sheeran's Plastic Bag on the field because I was starting to get annoyed, because I'd had a phone conversation with my son which was supposed to be private, and Ed Sheeran's songs seem to have come out since I had the conversation with my son. They have. And my son has actually been to see Ed Sheeran live. My son's been to an Ed Sheeran concert. I haven't, because I don't live in London, I live in Rochester, so I haven't been to see Ed Sheeran in concert, and I've never met him. But he comes across as a talented singer and a very nice person. But my son said things to me that was private over the phone, and it feels to me like people know all what was said on that conversation, because I seem to be getting men bending over in front of my face. They're not bending over in front of my son, they're bending over in front of me, and I'm a woman. Because I know what they're doing, and I know what they're trying to do, and I know what they're doing it for, and it's bloody obvious, isn't it? But they're not getting me to get upset and remove my YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, or my Facebook. And when it does come out that certain people have been pinching my ideas, pieces out of my phone conversations, and God knows what else, they're all going to be in trouble. Right? And pieces of my diary, that is copyright theft. Right? It's copyright theft. And just because I'm an ordinary person and probably can't afford a solicitor, it doesn't mean I can't expose it. Do you understand me? Good. Taking advantage of the fact that I'm a poor woman with no carpet in my flat, copywriting what I've written in my diary. Theft. Thieves. Thieves and theft. So I was a bit pissed off with having some giant twat's bum in my face. But I tried to block it out with Ed Sheeran music. Came off the field and I was starting to get depressed again because I was trying to make myself happy, but why do people keep bending over at me? You know, what is that for? What are you trying to tell me? I talk out my bottom. What? Is it necessary to actually bend down so your face is nearly in, your bum is nearly in my face? Is that necessary? I think that's rude, especially doing that to a woman, a man. I find that disgusting and distasteful. If you said excuse me and let me pass, that would have been fine, but he just stuck his arse nearly in my face. I got into my flats and the parcels was for a lady called Wednesday Nutbeam, and I'm sure that's not a real name. Wednesday Nutbeam. And for somebody called Trawally. Obviously no parcels for me, but I've got some coming later on in the week, so I wasn't upset. But my mum said that my father Derek used aliases, and he did. Derek did. He called himself Peter Densley on Facebook. He called himself Sue Cook on Facebook and Sue Arnold on Facebook. That's what he called himself, amongst other names. Dan Dogsbottom. That's what he called himself, Dan Dogsbottom. It's all in my diary. It's not me. My name's Crystal, and it has been since 2009. Nothing else. So Wednesday Nutbeam is not me, okay? So I passed the parcels. Sounds good, doesn't it? I passed the parcels, came up into my flat, and I know full well that he's going to have his kids upstairs over the weekend. I haven't been angry, I haven't got cross, although people seem to be being rude and nasty towards him leading up to bringing his kids upstairs. Now I'm used to that. I've got Alexa, I've got fans on, and I'm going to, just get on with my own business. He's entitled to see his kids. They're going to make noise because kids do. It's other people outside being a pain in the arse that makes me angry, you see. So I came home, guys, and my hair is a bit redder than usual because I've dyed it. I've dyed my fringe a mixture of red and copper. My hair is not black, is it? So we've had the guy out of the Rochester Riverside office with his penguin shoes and his penguin waistcoat and his black hair going up and down Corey's Road. He looks like a giant penguin. He's got shoes far too big for his feet. They look like clown shoes. He's a bit larger than the man upstairs and a bit taller with black hair, and he's been going up and down Corey's Road for most of the morning and a bit in the afternoon. I call them clown shoes. Men that wear, they think it makes their feet bigger, but the toes turn up when a man wears shoes that are too big for his feet, the top of the shoe curls over like a clown shoe. He's been working in that office for the 3 years that I've been here. That guy with the black hair and he's a large man. He's quite overweight, but he's jolly enough. He obviously introduces the new people into flats that they're buying. You see, I rent this place. So he takes people down to the flats, the ones that are buying them outright for 250,000 quid. I rent this from Hyde Housing. So I'm probably not good enough to speak to. Anyway, that's been going on because they're building more and more flats right down to the bottom, and soon they're leading to Chatham. And obviously he's taken them down to view the flats, isn't he? The buyers. I've dyed my hair copper and red, the front. I've had lunch that I cooked myself. I haven't gone into the co-op. I've got to take Max for a walk in the dark by myself. Still the same things going on. I'm a woman living by myself with men taking the piss out of me. I feel ganged up on by men. And I've done nothing wrong. I'm a woman. And if men want to bend down and be rude and bend over with their bottoms, I'm not taking... I don't want a bum in my camera. I don't want a bum obstructing my camera screen. Don't listen to private phone conversations. I can't listen to yours. Don't listen to mine. And I'm not mad. I'll prove it to you one day that someone's listening to my phone conversation. I'll prove it. Because I was talking last night out loud. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk out loud. I'm going to wait till they're not expecting it. I'm going to talk out loud to someone on the phone, and then I'll take the camera out and film it. I shall film the conversation, and then I'll go outside and I'll show you what they get up to. I'll prove it. So guys, I hope everyone has a good weekend, a happy weekend with your relatives and your family, and goes out and has a lovely time. I live by myself and I don't feel safe going out down Rochester High Street by myself, and I don't want to start getting involved with drugs and drink. So I prefer to stay indoors. I've just heard a terrible story about 2 women that went out drinking somewhere and they got murdered. So even 2 women alone, you know, you've got to be careful. Right, I'm going to get on with the rest of my day, and obviously I have to protect myself because there's no one else with me that can help me. I feel like I'm being treated like a bloke, and I'm a small woman. And you can see that. And it was my dad that called himself Peter, my father Derek, and he's dead. And how many times do I have to say it? Good evening, everyone.